What's good, everybody? Back with another episode of Top 5 Live, episode 140. We almost
Dang.
150 episodes, okay?
Dang.
I am making sure that I switch this joint to. I don't know why I do this all the time, honestly.
Can y'all hear my background? Can y'all hear the music in my background?
I hear something. But it matters not.
Lightly, I don't know what it is.
All right. Move music.
But yes, episode 140. Y'all already know the usual suspects. Myself, Big Bro Javon Stokes, bottom left, and Danny J Quick, otherwise known as the Ace Blade, otherwise known as that Negro in these streets, up on the top right.
That's how we do.
And
Negro in these streets.
that Negro in these streets. In the middle,
Hey, why you got
gracing us with his presence for the first time. The middle top.
First
time on top 5.
He only watches the show to disrespect me, and
Oh wow!
he's never been on the show, but he is a good close friend and a brother of mine in arms.
He just called you a bald-headed raisinette.
He did, but I felt like that was in love. It may have been wrong, but who knows?
Okay.
He's a comic book creator. He is the creator of Decimation Earth.
Okay.
Yes.
Other things, and co-creator of L'Ton. Is it co-creator of L'Ton?
Oh, shut up.
Co-creator of L'Ton. David Rucker.
Unless Wally corrects it.
Wally's like, maybe. Let's see how the show goes.
Wally was doing the diabolical hand wringing.
Y'all know the man, the myth, the legend.
Down at the bottom right, Big Bro.
Lumberton's own Wolly McNair in the building. Fresh from MomoCon, man. How was that? How was MomoCon?
Sensational.
Really?
Fresh from a full in the shop. Can I say that?
It was it worth the flight? Was it worth the flight and hotel and all that you had to pull up?
Well, they paid for the flight, the hotel.
See, he said it. Okay.
Oh, you a big dog. My bad.
See, that's what I'm saying. I was gonna say fresh from a fully paid. I was gonna say fresh from a fully.
If you didn't know, now you know.
Hey, MomoCon, I appreciate y'all 100,000%. They took very good care of it.
I want to hear the story of how what happened on the way back though, because I heard that the show went well. From what I heard, the show went well. You had a good time, and there was a great traffic, but something happened on the way back. Can you tell us what happened on the way back, or you gonna wait for the documentary?
That's a longer
Did you call
private conversation. Me and Rico had an adventure getting up out of there, but that's a longer conversation.
Oh, he called somebody physical harm.
No.
That's not surprising.
Real talk. So you did MomoCon. Was it like conducive to like the superhero set, like, or was it? You know what I mean, like. It's a real anime heavy, manga heavy show.
Yeah. I mean, for me now, from what I could see,
what's good, Kyron? Selling
books seemed to be very well for everybody on the two rows that I could see by just looking around. And a lot of it comes down to how you interact and sell. So I'm sure you would do fine, Javon. But as far as prints and things like that, it's definitely a very heavy anime Transformers type vibe. Not to say that some of the other stuff was. Turtles seem to be doing very well out there. But I wouldn't walk in there with just all Marvel and DC and think it's going to be sweet.
No, I was just because I'm always.
No, I know you. I'm just saying to anybody else wondering, like, I wouldn't.
I'm looking to expand next year. This year is a slower con season for me for one reason or another. But next year, I'm trying to do like 3 or 4.
How, man, you've been killing it. You had a whole.
I actually haven't. I haven't. I've been doing less cons this year than last year. Yeah.
Okay, because I know from last year you was.
No, last year I did like almost 40 shows.
That nigga was an everybody show.
And
you popped up having a show. Here go Javon.
Huh?
They got a whole other five.
Javon pop up. Y'all got any more of them tables?
Yeah.
You got any more of them tables?
Right. You done right.
Javon said y'all tripping. He trying to get to the bread.
Hey, listen, man. So next year I'm trying to do like 40 40 shows.
You don't like being home, is what you're saying.
Couldn't be me.
I like making money, man. That's why I like making money.
I'm telling your wife and your
I like
kids.
making
I'm
money.
telling.
I like making money. No, this year is actually, it's going to pick up soon. I got Heroes Con coming up. I might do Fan Expo Denver. I'm not sure yet.
Okay, Denver.
Yeah, I'm trying. Blurred Con. I'm doing Dragon Con, Terrific Con.
You heard that from Blurred Con?
See, I ain't even get it. I ain't even getting the Dragon, Javon. So see, you know what I mean?
Hey, but they ain't paying for my flight and hotel.
big money.
You got in though.
I got in with $400 on that table.
Hey, from what I hear about Dragon Con, it'll be well worth it though.
Let me say this. Let me say this too. Let me say this too before we get back into Wally's physical harm of others.
Why?
I don't know why. That's why. That's why I just want to hear the story. So the top 5 tonight is the top 5 crime shows. Now, y'all know we have to give disclaimers because some of these joints be broad. That includes whatever y'all wanted to include. So that can be anything from reality crime shows to drama crime shows to whatever. If the show revolves around crime, it counts. You know what I'm saying? So that's the list for later on. But we will but the biggest thing that we're gonna be talking about, and the reason that we have our 200 guests on the show tonight, is to tell us about this fire. Wait, let me put it up. This fire first original bequest title, L'Ton, fresh on the Project We Love list. Fresh on the Project We Love list.
Morgan scrolled that quick.
Fresh.
Yeah, I don't know what that said. Like it said something negative.
It sounds like somebody need to check their pledge, man.
Oh yeah, it did. Yeah, no, don't even worry about that.
Hey, I got a red banner on mine right now too.
Hey, listen, Brad, times is
I'm
hard
gonna get
right
it fixed.
now.
I'm gonna get it fixed. I got a red banner on me right now too.
Yeah, listen, man. I've always respected the fact that y'all be out there supporting these Kickstarters as much as y'all do. Bro. I had to take a break because I was like support, and then out of nowhere, like all of the Kickstarter just ended at the same time. My bank account was like,
you best believe my credit cards was like, we went ahead and approved. Huh? You did what now?
Bank account be screaming, bro.
You better believe.
Now. I had to take a break. I was like, all right, I come back later.
But with that ado, I want to make sure that I announce again. Literally just got the Project We Love badge. I don't know if it happened earlier today, and I'm just not seeing it at what. But when I checked it earlier, I didn't see it. But it is up there now as a Project We Love, L'Ton. Let me go back up to L'Ton, Broken City, and I'm gonna let Danny and Javon. They're much better interviewers than I am in this format, especially. So I'm gonna let them walk us through it with Wally and David.
I got a question. For the team. I want to know, because I've known Wally for a long time. I've known David for a while now. Y'all two brothers couldn't be more different. As people, as creators. And I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm just saying y'all are not the same type of person.
It sounds terrible.
What would ever make Wally? This is a question for you. What would make you want to work with a person that is esteemed and is honored as David Rucker, even though y'all are so different? What is it that brought you two together?
I feel like that was a slight to David and me at the same time. Like,
no, he pulled away. He steered out. He steered out.
More respect to me than you, Wally.
I said good things.
I don't know. It was kind of weird because it's almost like you said, Wally, you devious ass nigga. Why would you be working with an esteemed gentleman?
What?
Like this?
I must have phrased the question wrong. Well, I think you understand what I meant. Go ahead.
You did cause violence to someone.
What do you mean? Why would I work?
Why did y'all get together to do a project? That is what Danny is asking.
Oh, that's what. Thank you, Javon. I was having to go into the schematics and the You know what I'm saying?
Danny was trying to be flowery.
The bomb atomically, Socrates' philosophies was getting right there.
Question.
I mean, I met David at Rebel Base Comics, which is one of the local shops here. I was in there selling drugs, and nah, I'm just kidding. I was
Which
not.
ones?
I was in there chilling, and we just started chopping it up or whatever. He was working on Decimation Earth. I was about to hit some cons. So I was like, yo, man, like just tag along and get a vibe for how this worked. That eventually led to him going to Fayetteville with me, which led to him going slightly through Lumberton a little bit, Fairmount, because I'm from Lumberton, North Carolina. I guess once he saw the beauty and the other side of some of that, led to a conversation. We have two different stories about how that part built out, but we just started having a conversation about building this story, loosely based on some of my childhood and the childhood of my cousin Adam and a few other people, and just building out something cool. So that's what kind of led to, us starting to put the pieces together to make this book called L'Ton. I know some people say ton, or I don't know what these brothers, their accents is different.
Yeah, I got a country twang, so sometimes
I'm from the south, but they like from the south.
I just call it Lumberton.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the name of this book.
L'Ton. That's how it's supposed to be said.
It is a ton.
L'Ton.
There it is.
Yeah.
Lumberton is the name. That's what I'm saying. I'm scrolling through all this fire art. Hey, somebody, David.
I got you. David, like I don't think we met. Did we meet? Were you at Heroes Con last year?
No, I did. I was at Heroes Con.
He limped through there.
Yeah, I was coming off my first back surgery.
Okay, all right. How long you been in comics, man?
When did we drop DE? I think I've been in comics for the last 3 or 4 years. Doesn't that sound about right?
Nah, a little bit longer than that. Pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID, yeah. We dropped DE pre-COVID, and the interesting thing about meeting Wally is I met Wally at Rebels, but the intention was to have Wally mentor my son, because a lot of people had spoke highly of Wally, and one of my twins, who's 16, is an artist, and I had approached, started talking to Wally about possibly mentoring my son, and then that led into conversations of us. As Wally said, it goes from there. I've been in comics since pre-COVID, but I started working on the conception of DE back in the early 2000s when I was living back in Ohio.
Why are you saying DE? Like everybody, you can say Decimation Earth. It's not 8 syllables.
You resin that head butter looking motherfucker.
Just say the whole thing. Just say the whole thing. Don't say that.
Oh God. Hey, this character, wow.
For everybody who doesn't know, Danny and I have a rivalry because I was Marine Corps and he was a lazy ass Army. So, bunch of backslash. But anyway,
don't get mad at me because you're still addicted to eating crayons. Don't get mad at me. Okay. Come on now, get it together.
I don't get into that military beef, bro.
Yeah, so we'll leave it at the door. I started working on DE, Decimation Earth, back in the early 2000s, and I set it on the shelf, and it was my wife who brought me back into the world of comic books when she found this whole project.
Oh, hold up, son. No disrespect. I'm gonna let you finish, Taylor. Hey, my aunt Veronica, my aunt V just said hello, so I got to say hello. What's up, Auntie? Love you and Unc. Oh, but so her husband was about to rob David when he went to we went to Fairmount with me, and he wasn't clear on what was about to happen to him, and you know what I'm saying, like, because he old school, he OG. But he let him walk out the house with his belongings. Go ahead.
He was asking about my Ray-Bans.
Okay.
Yeah. So my wife, when we were living in Salt Lake City, Utah, found my projects, and she got me back into dealing with comic books and writing again. So for me, I've been in it for a while, but I think pre-COVID's when I really started writing and working in comics. And Javon, I've heard your name a lot ever since I've gotten to the community. Same thing with Wally and Danny. Those names were a lot of names that were banned that were floating through the community here in Charlotte when I first got into it.
Wow.
And I feel very fortunate that I got the opportunity to meet Wolly and Danny and work with them both. I mean, Danny did the lettering for DE. Wolly did a cover for us for DE. And during that relationship, as Wolly said, we started talking about the concept of L'Ton. It was like, I think we both have two different stories of how it came together, but basically it was him and I sitting at the table at Fayetteville, just batting back and forth ideas. And just constantly from there, every so often on the phone, talking about the ideas, setting up the framework of how we wanted to tell the story. Because really the story of L'Ton is basically set around Lumberton, where Wolly comes from, and a lot of the stories that we are using in L'Ton come from Wolly's history. And the beautiful thing, as Wolly would like to say, and I like to say too, L'Ton's like taking the first season of the Daredevil and putting it together with The Wire.
So you're trying to tell me that Wolly is the remnant, is what you're saying? Wolly is remnant.
Nah, you ain't listening to what he's saying. He's saying
That sounds about right.
there's elements of the story that are influenced
he
by
didn't say
my
elements. Nah, he didn't say elements or influence. He said,
I think I mentioned earlier my cousin All Day, who has a heavy influence on this character as well. He also has music on the soundtrack that every person that pledges to the campaign will get, that features only artists from the area. You feel me?
Nice.
But I am not a vigilante.
Hey, I have listened to it.
Is L'Ton the name of the character, or is that just the overall name of the book?
That's the name of the city in the book.
Okay. So we don't know the name of the character yet.
We've mentioned it. We've mentioned
it.
Yeah, and it's on the Kickstarter. His name's Remnant.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And I think from our different backgrounds, I think was what brought us together. You know, I come from a military background. Wolly comes from Lumberton, and we took his experiences in Lumberton and my experiences in the military, and we used this to craft this story, because our main character Jamal is a veteran who comes back to L'Ton and sees the social injustices, the corruption within local government, the crime, and the poor education system, and is, finding himself in a situation where he can take the skills that he learned in the military, and in this case, in his mind, apply it to what he sees as a just war versus what he's gone through in the military.
Okay.
We're also going to look at PTSD, what that does to veterans from a mental health standpoint. We're also going to look at the city as a whole. And I think Wolly has said this in the past, that the city is a living, breathing organism, in my words. It's a living city. So we're just not looking at this particular hero, but we're looking about all the things around him. And let's be clear, Jamal's not a hero. Not in any sense. He is not a hero. Not a hero in the way we look at the traditional Batman, Superman, Daredevil, or Spider-Man type hero. This is a man who knows that he's crossed the line, but he's willing to cross that line because he sees he has to put a shock to the system to make change. Is there anything I missed there, Wolly?
He on his Punisher issue, is what you're saying on the hot. I
would not compare him to Punisher. I would not compare him to Punisher.
Who would be the closest comparison?
I mean, I put it like this.
I want to make sure I show this too.
Everybody's gonna find their thing to connect it to, and from what you would understand about Punisher or any vigilante, you'd find ways to say, okay, I can see how this could relate or tie in. But once you get into the story and the dynamic of his state of mind, you'll definitely see that he stands in his own category as far as the overall and the environment that he comes from. You know, a huge difference between him and Punisher is definitely, David mentioned PTSD. There's the aspect of what he goes through just growing up in the environment that he's from. Then you combine that with the military time, and you start to realize he thinks different than your average quote unquote vigilante hero or whatever, simply because of the environment he's had to maneuver and survive prior to all of this decision making to become Remnant. So,
Right.
but there's some similarities. I mean, you know, most humans by nature try to find something to connect with something so that they can understand it better, you know. So
And I think and I think while it makes a good point, I think while it makes a good point there is like whenever you pick up a story or comic book or you watch a movie, there's something that resonates with you with that particular story that reminds you of a certain character that allows you to enjoy that film or book or comic book.
Now, what made you guys, because, you know, we all got, you know, every one of us on here has done, like, you know, I've got Heat, Danny's got Ace Blade, Lumberjacks, you know, the comic book industry is kind of full of kind of the costume vigilante superhero, you know, whatever. What made you guys decide that was the story route you wanted to go as opposed to trying something else?
I mean, you know, most of my stories outside of King Supreme and Super Bastard, which are still under construction, just for those wondering, most of my stories were always things that went beyond traditional superhero stuff. But for this story, for Remnant, for L'Ton, it just made more sense to have a character that was grounded in these elements with the tactical gear and things of that nature because of his background, because of what he did, because of where he comes from. You know, and for us, he's only a superhero because that's what people can identify it as. You know what I mean? It's more a cat who wakes up, puts together an outfit that can protect him because based on his understanding of how to survive, this is going to give him that advantage. And I'm going out to do what I need to do to change the way that things work in this world I live in. So, you know, in our mind, I don't think neither one of us was like, yo, superhero. But we understood that people again would think he's got a mask on, he must be a superhero. You know what I mean? He's got this disguise, he must be a superhero. But as you follow Jamal through the darkness, you start to realize you could care less about the identity and any of that other stuff. It's just more about getting this job done.
I didn't think about this before because I think we came in early on in the process of L'Ton. It's not a superhero story. There's not any. I don't think there's any superpowers in anything that I've seen so far. Right.
Well, I guess you got to read these issues to find out.
Right.
I was waiting for that answer. I was waiting for it.
I can't be telling people that. You're right. I will say. Read. Go ahead, Dave.
I was gonna say, and maybe I'm giving something away here, and if I am, Wally, tell me to stop. But when we wrote this story, there are some aspects of it that could fall into the superhero category, but we both agree we wanted those aspects to be in the background, and the characters and the life they lead and the choices they make and the experiences that they have were more important than the superhero aspects of the story. It's there in the periphery, but it doesn't stand out.
Yeah, nobody is flying or lifting buildings or anything like that.
Yeah,
I like it. I'll say one more thing. I'll say before we get into some of the weekly stuff we wanted to talk about. I know that I've worked with Wally in the past, and I know it's hard to get him to write stuff down. I'll just say, David. So props to you for that. That's that right there. Being able to get a script down. And
hey, let's understand something. Nobody made me do nothing.
I know it's a script done.
Danny, you knew what was about to happen. You know what about to happen. Why you put that out?
I don't even know why you went there, man.
What up, T?
I don't know why you.
What up, T?
What up, fam? Don't let them punk you, bro.
I had to straighten that right
I'm
quick.
about to come to Wally's defense. I'm
I had
about
to
to come
straighten
to
that real
Wally's
quick.
defense here.
Nobody tell me nothing.
Everybody trying to punk Wally.
Hey, Morgan. Hey, everybody.
So,
What up, sis?
I know it's tough to get, but I was gonna point to the authenticity of the script. We got an early copy of the script, and being part of Bequest, you get the early access to stuff like that. And I couldn't speak to some of the Lumberton stuff, but the military things, I will say right off the bat, one of my early critiques was that the military scenes were really good, were really well done. So props to David for that, and props to Wolly too for crafting this world together, man. I'm excited about L'Ton, and like I said, man, it's gonna be dope.
I got one more question. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, going back to what Danny said about the scripts, I think it's me that's driving Wolly crazy with the scripts, because Wolly has to tell me stop messing with him, because we'll sit there and outline something over the phone, and then I'll go up and type the script up and send it to Wolly or share drive. And Wally's like, "Okay, this is good, man." And then a week later, I'm like, "Hey, did you see the changes I made?" And Wolly, what are you talking about?
Like, nah, I ain't seen no changes. And why are there changes, bro? Like,
I think Wolly's just getting a taste of his own medicine, bro.
We spent 10 hours putting this thought together. You know what I mean? Hey, what up, Caleb Mo?
Wolly's just getting a taste of his own medicine. Wolly be sending us updates and stuff that we had talked about. He'd be like, "Oh man, I had this idea, and it's already drawn. And in the book." And we
that's way different. Well, first and foremost, Caleb Mo, that's my cousin right there. I love you, cuz.
What's happening?
Second, it's different. It's different. We have it all together. Down, it's packed. I be leaving. I be on another planet. I come back and bro be like, "Yo, I put 32 more pages in there. Could you read over them and figure out if this works or not?" And I'd be like, "Yo, I'm gonna have to tell this man half of this don't work, and he gonna be upset with me. But it's his fault though, because he went and added them 32 extra pages. You know what I mean? But then we figure it out. We end up keeping 16 up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's good.
And then adding to the military piece of that, I want to give a shout out to my fellow Devil Dog, Gene Coles, who I served with, because him and I would spend, I call him like maybe in the middle of the night, early in the morning. I'm like, "Hey, I got to go over this scene with you. I got to make sure this makes sense from a military standpoint," And the same thing with Wolly. I mean, we take the time as we craft this story to sit down and look from a realistic standpoint of how Jamal's going to move on the streets and how he's going to use the military training he has to take down the villains he's dealing with. So I think that's one thing a lot of people are going to enjoy about this story, is that we are taking the time to craft a story that, even though it's a comic book, even though there's superhero aspects for it, there are parts of the story that gives you, I get that. I've experienced that. I've seen that. This sounds real. It's gritty, it's dark, and we don't pull any punches with the story.
Okay. Yeah, it's honest and it's authentic.
Okay. So I would ask before no, it's just one more question. Can I get one more? Is that okay, Morgan?
You got it?
No, I wanted to make sure we got the time question.
Okay. All right. So who would you say the audience you guys are targeting? Like, who, if you're a fan of what?
If you're a fan of number one, just to keep it real simple, if you're a fan of The Wire and first season of Netflix on Daredevil, you're gonna love that combination of what this is. If you're a fan of stories that dive deep into many layers of character development, action, and being able to pick and choose who you want to root for and who you want to go against, then we give you plenty of that. I'm not gonna say, like, my kids watch a plethora of many things, but some people, it's not the worst of language to me, but if it's written more or less for people who can digest certain things. You know what I mean? Certain truths and certain realities about what makes a city run, what makes a city tick. You know what I mean? We definitely don't hold no punches. And again, some of this is inspired by true events, changed to protect the guilty or innocent. But we can't uncover these realities without going into the depths of how money moves and how transactions happen and how choices are made. But we also want to show the other side of what it takes within the community to survive and to the love that raises someone who comes from what would appear to be nothing to everybody else. So our core audience, man, is just listen. If you want to go on a ride, a tactical adventure, you know what I mean, that dives into the plethora of what a person goes through just trying to make the decision to get up and fight for something every day, then this will be a story for you. If you're looking for something cookie cutter, you're looking for capes, you're looking for, you know, someone with cold breath that freezes everything, we don't got you on this one. This one might not be the one for you.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Morgan.
I want to make sure before we move on. Ty had a question. He said he turned in a little bit late, but how does the story start out? Childhood, teen years, or adulthood?
Jamal's life is three phases, oftentimes throughout the book. Yeah, you see him current, you see him at a younger age, and you see him somewhere in between his military days and things like that throughout the book. And the reason, and David can reiterate some of this, but the reason we do that is so that you can see what led to who he is. When you see him doing something, you then get an understanding of what has led to the buildup of what he's become. It's not just him acting wild and violent for no reason. So we jump around, but the jumping around that we do is very cohesive. You won't find yourself lost, like, well, why did I end up here? Why did you know what I mean? So you get a little piece of his entire life. And throughout that, as the book moves forward, you will also start to learn more and more about the people around him in similar ways.
Yeah, and I concur with that. I think the important thing for us was to be able to give a cohesive story where you understood why, as Wally said, why Jamal did this, and this is the backdrop of what led him to do this, instead of us having to go through 3 books and then boom, here's book 4. We're going to give you a background issue of all his experience as a child. And then maybe we'll do another issue down the line of him experiencing as his military time. Because you see that. You see that in comic books where you have the hero, then all of a sudden they come out with an origin issue later on down the road. Or in movies where they'll do a prequel. For example, like with The Equalizer with Denzel Washington, there's talks of them developing a story of how he got into the world he was in. And then you're going back. We decided we're not going to do that. We're going to give it all to you so you can understand what is going on with Jamal and the characters that are around him and his experiences with them in the past, to show you where they are now and why they react a certain way to Jamal.
Yeah. Now y'all want to get to that fun stuff because I feel like we don't made it all very serious and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't really have nothing that I wanted to talk about tonight besides, shouting out the WNBA, man. And these games have been crazy good. One thing, I mean, I know the WNBA season is super short. Any of y'all watch any of the WNBA stuff? And Wally, I know we've talked about it before.
I've just been watching Caitlin Clark get knocked on her ass.
Dang. They finally got one win. They got one.
Well, I figured she was going to have a rough time coming in with all the, with all the accolades and all the things she was getting, and how they treated her coming into the Fever, and how Angel Reese got her introduction. I kind of figured that they were going to give her a welcome, let this ain't college anymore. This is the WNBA.
Yeah.
You're going to have to earn it.
Also, she was on a pretty bad team. Like I understand, they wanted to come in and instantly impact the league or whatever, but their season is only 22 games or something like that.
But let me ask you this, Danny: the 3 top teams, you got the New York Liberty, you got the Aces, and then you got, who's the other one? The Suns.
CT in the building.
Okay, I don't think she could fit in with the Aces. I don't think she would fit in with the Aces. I don't think she would fit in with the Liberty.
I mean, I think she could play on the Aces. The Aces have a well-rounded team. They got Asia. I don't know.
Some people would say she's not accustomed to working with a team on that.
Wait, who are we talking about?
Caitlin Clark. And she's not. I agree with you, Wally. Some people say she's not. Because look at the team she worked with, Iowa. Look at Iowa versus South Carolina when they play in the final. South Carolina was a complete team.
Absolutely.
You don't think she could play on the other team? Is that what you're saying?
No, just saying her function and her fitting in is going to take.
What?
Caitlin Clark.
Honestly, can I be real? I think folks need to lay off Caitlin Clark. I can't believe I'm defending her, but
oh no, I'm not saying she's not a good player.
No, I'm not you. I'm just saying in general, because there are a lot of people who are they're attacking her as if she came in I'm the GOAT, and it wasn't really her that was doing it. It was the media that was kind of pushing her up as if she was the great white hope, and she out here just trying to play ball.
What Caitlin has, in my opinion, has kind of ruffled some feathers the way she's played ball in college, the way she's run up and shoved players down, the way she's attacked the referees. And, in one game, her dad's literally yelling in the stands to tell her to shut up, while she's on the court. But I wish her the best of luck. I think she's a good player. I think she's just going to have to learn to play as a team because she's used to having the ball and taking the shots.
She point guard though, ain't she?
I think
she is.
I'm just saying, if you're a star player,
Yeah, but I think they're trying to. Go ahead, Mo.
Go ahead, Mo.
Nah, I just told you. Go ahead. You got it. I think it's going to turn to you and Javon going to war right quick.
No, I think that's what they drafted. Yeah, I think that's what they drafted her for, though. Caitlin is there to attention with the type, she had the same type of lure and game to her that Steph brought to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? The fact that as soon as he steps over half court, he can shoot right now. He's a threat as soon as he steps over half, so is Caitlin. You know what I mean? So that opens up passing lanes that other people aren't going to have, and she's actually a good passer. I think they drafted her for that reason. They want her to be the center focus, but she wasn't selfish at Iowa. She just was the focus. Because she was the most talented player that they had. But you also had Kate Martin, who's playing for the Aces now. I think Caitlin's gonna be fine. I think all of the rookies are just fine. I think they're already showing that, and I'm excited for the WNBA. We already knew that she was going to have to carry the mantle of the great white hope thing. We all knew that was going to happen. And we all knew the marketing that was going to come with it. And we all knew the dollars.
Well, yeah, I think they're just going to have to build a team around her like they did with Steph Curry in Golden State. Now it's no longer when they built that team around Steph, it wasn't just Steph anymore. You had Clay, you had Draymond, you had a lot of other players.
Yeah.
Hey, and you're not going to be able to do that all in 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
I just know the games have been competitive, and good basketball is fun to watch anytime. So, and I saw somebody mention that flagrant foul on Angel Reese. That's just good basketball to me. And I think what she said in the post game was dope. She was like, "Hey,
I agree.
They ain't gonna take it easy on me because I'm Angel Reese." Hey, nope. she got choke slammed down to the ground, and she'll probably get another one or two, being down there in the post like that. So,
but a lot of the people who complaining, people who ain't really watching sports, watching it for the first time, they're like, "Oh wow, people are they're really getting at it."
But that's growing pains though. A lot of attention gets put on the sport, and people, seeing it for the first time, and they're like, "Oh, they actually are a good player. They play hard. The teams are good. it's a good product. You just gotta, now that there's a lot more eyes on it, there's more education that comes with that, and hopefully, they got a new team in Toronto now, right?
They got. I don't know if it is it new this year.
I think
it's not this year.
Yeah, next year they'll. They
got one in San Francisco too coming.
Yeah, so they're already expanding the league. They already gonna have, they got more eyes on it. They selling more tickets. I think that they said the Aces sold 15 games out already this season. So, I think that's solid.
Speaking of selling out, live on Kickstarter, L'Ton, Broken City.
Yes, sir.
You can pledge right now.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
we need. Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
67%.
Let's go.
Funded. Help us push that on over that edge. I just want to stick that in there right quick. Pause.
We almost in there. We almost.
No Diddy.
We retired that. We retired to no Diddy. It's Diddy too much.
Hey, speaking of that, did you see how quick Hulu and Tubi threw up a documentary on Diddy?
No, I'm not surprised.
And now 50's coming out with a documentary on Diddy.
He had his for a while.
Discuss it, Tiana. Stop it.
50 had his for a while though.
Yeah. But yeah, they threw that out there. I looked on Tubi and Hulu. They both had documentaries on Diddy, and I was like, well, that was quick.
Hey, listen.
Hey, man.
When the vultures come, they come.
Mm-hmm.
50's is going to be hilarious because he's the king of petty. And I have no idea what's on it. But I know it's going to be hilarious. I do know. So I definitely will be looking out for it. But I think the most important thing that Diddy's going to have to watch out for is the cases that are yet to come out, the cases that are still being brought. He got a long road ahead of him for the next 2-3 years, bro, for sure. Because I mean, having the feds raid your house, as we said before, not a small deal of Homeland Security come up in your crib, because with a full search warrant. So, and then your son comes out with a lame song talking trash to the FBI. Like, that's not advisable, but he did it.
That's poking the bear.
Huh? Yeah,
poking the bear.
That's like talking trash to the IRS. Why would you? It's dumb. Like, why would you do that? But he's done it now. It's out there.
Hey, bro.
Y'all want to go?
It was lunchtime. I'm dinner time with my joint.
Oh man, listen.
Get
food when you get in, man.
You just gonna sit here and chew food with your mouth open on the TV on the show there, Danny?
I done seen Danny lick the back of his hands on an interview before. He different.
This show, this is usually time that I eat, so it's a normal thing for me to be eating something during the show.
Ignorant.
I gotta get my sustenance. Gotta do it.
Yeah, it looks like you get.
Hey, Andy used a big word. I like it, bro. That's what I'm telling you.
I thought Morgan and I were bad, man. David coming for Danny's throat, boy.
I ain't saying nothing.
David know when I see him, I'm just gonna push him a little bit and get him off balance, and he's gonna have to go home after that.
Crazy.
I don't care nothing about your cane.
I got this right here for you. You hear me?
This man said he gonna tip him over. He
gonna get all he gonna get is one shot, and he better hope it's a good one.
Hey, I just gotta get you before you fully recover, so you can't catch me.
David, you said you were a Marine?
Yeah, I was in the Marine Corps. Yeah,
you're in the Marine Corps.
I was.
Okay. Now, like, because you see, movies and they tell in TV and they talk about like the training involved with the Marine Corps.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how close were you to breaking?
I broke every day.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. There was times when I was in boot camp when we would go to church. I would be so stressed that I would just literally cry in church.
Yeah.
And just fall asleep because the drill instructors would just break you down and just insult you. and just question you, and you couldn't do anything about it. I mean, they would just push you. I remember one time in boot camp, they had us on the line in front of our bunk beds, and they were going through our foot lockers, checking to make sure our locks were locked on our foot locker. And I remember my foot locker wasn't locked for some reason. And this drill instructor, and they were flipping our foot lockers if they weren't. So they flipped the foot lockers into the middle of the squad blade, and all your stuff would just go all over the place. Drill instructor walked by, flipped mine, and as he continued to walk by, I came off the line because I was going to punch him in the back of his head. I didn't care. I had had enough. And just as I came off the line, one of my buddies grabbed me and yanked me back.
Whoa.
And he turned around, and I snapped to attention. And I think he knew that I came off the line, but he didn't say anything because my buddy snatched me back. But there was points in there that I was just like, this isn't worth it.
So what made you choose the Marines?
I chose the Marines because at the time I was looking at going into law enforcement, and I wanted to test myself. I wanted to see if I could put myself through the most hardest boot camp there was there. I mean, looking at the Army, I could have had any school I wanted, but the Marine Corps seemed like it was a challenge. What
you trying to say, bro? You saying what you saying about the Army, bro?
Come on, man, don't.
No, I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna keep it real. No, there's no disrespect to Danny.
Okay.
It's no disrespect to everybody. It's just that when you look at what you want to do as far as you go in the military, and if anybody ever asks me, a young man asks me if they want to join the Marine Corps, I say to him, look, if you want to learn something like a skill or something like that, and go join the Army, go join the Air Force, go join the Navy. If you join the Marine Corps, all you're going to do is learn how to kill. I mean, the Marine Corps, everything's built around the infantry.
All right, so are you saying that the other side is suckers? Like I'm just trying to. I just want to be clear because we're on top 5. I don't want to know for sure.
Ain't no other sides. Ain't no other sides though. It's all one team.
It's all one team. It's not that you're. I mean, like S. Moore just said. Soon as you get off that bus, it's on.
Word.
It is on once you get off that bus.
That comment doesn't really sound like it's solidifying the unity of the different groups, but I get what you're saying. You just trying to make sure we know that the Marines is them dudes. I got you. I feel you, bro.
I mean, the Marines are them dudes, though. Look, they are, because if you look at the Army, you have a variety of things
like
that
he's still saying that other people are suckers, but his
what I'm saying is
he didn't say that. Y'all trying to instigate, but it ain't nothing to instigate.
What I'm saying
y'all started the conversation on negative, pushing each other down.
Hold on.
What I'm saying is how hard it was.
That's all. What I'm saying is, in the Marine Corps, that time I was in boot camp was hard.
Okay,
it was hard because it was the first time, like, you go to boot camp, not only are you being physically pushed, you're also being mentally pushed because you're testing every day. They are sticking tests in front of you, and they give you like a class in the morning, and then in the afternoon you got to come back and take a test. And they're like, okay, everything you learned in the morning, now you got to test. Now you got to take a test. Oh, by the way, if you don't score an 80 on this test, you fail. And if you fail, that means you get recycled.
You washed out. Recycled.
You washed out. And it's the same. And it's the same thing in the fleet. If they send you to a special school or anything like that, from my experience, if you score lower than an 80, you're done, and you got to go back to your command.
Word. Hey, listen, though, we respect the military. We appreciate them. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like me and David get the energy back up. Normally when I tap in the top 5, like people be laughing and joking. Y'all niggas serious tonight.
I'm just listening. I'm just letting the man talk.
But no, let's get going.
Because I tell you right now, like, listen, I've told Danny on more than one occasion, the armed services is not for me. So I like
definitely not for me.
My mouth is way too slick, and me and authority don't know.
Yeah, definitely not for me. But a lot of my uncles and cousins, and
the first time if I was in that, you turn over that thing, I'd be like, you might as well send me home. Because I'm about to say some things.
Well, I witnessed one of the guys in my platoon try to attack one of the drill instructors.
Ain't even got to attack. I'm just going to tell you how I feel, and you might as well just send me home.
Well, there's been cases where people have been sent home for failure to being able to be trained because they're like,
it's not necessarily in my experience. It's not necessarily about not being able to speak your mind, because drill sergeants aren't there. Well, I'll say for the military, for the army, drill sergeants aren't there to beat you up. They're there to make you into a team. And if being able to communicate is part of being on a team, and you have to be able to communicate. And if you can do that in the right way, then you can reach your goals. You can accomplish a mission if you learn how to communicate. Now, if you just going off the handle and being disrespectful, you're gonna get put in your place.
You're gonna get smoked.
The drill sergeants are the highest trained people around at the time.
I believe it.
So,
I believe it. That's why. Listen, I will thank y'all for your service every time.
Well, you can thank me for my service. All Danny did is just go around and make pancakes.
Damn.
Now I say a couple lines out there, man. I saw some things, man.
God,
hey, I know you did.
You know what I'm saying?
You know I got nothing but love for you. You know I got nothing but love for you.
Give them a second. They'll get to
it. You still got my T-shirt too, don't you?
Which one?
The one that one of my Marine Corps T-shirts.
Oh, no, he gave it to me.
Man,
okay.
David, you better not be standing nowhere just stationary. Danny just going, just go on. He's gonna put you right over and run.
David knows man. I would never do nothing.
Yeah. He'll put you right over and run. You ain't even gonna know it was Danny.
If anybody pushes me, I know it's Danny.
We give each other a hard time, man. But I do anything for David. So,
are we ready to do this top 5? Or are we still talking?
I mean, we could do it. Let's do it.
Hey, my list. This about to be a on brand day for me. I just want to let y'all know that. So, we're gonna let the guests go first, though.
Right, go ahead, David.
This is David.
We're gonna let Wally go first.
No, man. Wally been on before.
All right. So the first 3 are standard. My first 3 are the
5-1 now.
Gotta go 5-1, man.
Okay. Yeah, so number 1 is FBI Most Wanted. Number 2 is FBI International.
5-1.
Number 3 is the FBI.
You gotta start at 5. You gotta start at 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I gotta start at 5?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
number 5 is.
Y'all see how it is dealing with the Marines? Y'all see
I don't know how this goes. You didn't explain the rules.
We said it 3 times.
They just don't listen.
We said it 3 times, David.
I did say it.
I'm a disabled veteran. Okay.
Now you a disabled veteran. Now you a disabled veteran.
Hey, come on, man.
I got a bad hip.
Hey, hold on, man.
Surgeries. I gotta get a hip replacement, and I'm
you just told us that the Marine Corps was the hardest of the hard. And you gonna turn around and be like, "I'm disabled."
No, okay,
that's why I'm disabled.
He added in the partially deaf at the end. You can't say nothing against that.
I got tinnitus in both ears.
He ended it by
right. I actually got it in the right. No, is it the left? I got it.
He ended it by saying, "I'm also partially deaf." I said, "Dang." God almighty.
Okay, number 5. Started at number 5. We are coming in with Vanderwalk. Which is a BBC TV series. Okay. Set in Amsterdam.
I think I heard of it. I heard of it before. I never watched it.
Which I love this show, which is hilarious because it's set in Amsterdam, but all the actors have British accents. And they're supposed to be part of the Amsterdam police force. So go figure there.
Okay.
Second one is Shetland, which is set in Scotland, an island in Scotland.
Okay.
Another BBC show.
Strange.
What'd you say?
Nothing. Go ahead.
You got,
And you
okay,
got
that's
three.
that's what I thought.
Number 3.
Let's see about it.
Yeah.
You
Jesus Christ.
keep running your
tonight, boy. Woo.
keep running your suck. All
Hey
right,
man, it's your list. It's your list.
all right. Number 3, the FBI.
Okay.
All right. Number 3. Yeah. Number 2, FBI International, and number 1, FBI Most Wanted.
You watch a lot of CBS, man.
Well, actually, that's the only shows I watch on regular TV.
Okay.
Everything else is streaming.
Okay. All right, Wally. Go ahead, Wally.
Yeah. So for my great grandmother, In the Heat of the Night. So number 5.
All right,
Man,
there
that's
you
a
go.
good one. Man, that's a good one.
That's a good show. You don't got to put that
That's a
on
good
your
show.
great grandma.
I know. I'm about to say,
I wouldn't have known about it if it wasn't for her.
I mean, I could
I
say this
remember
thing.
that one.
My grandfather.
My grandmother loved that show too.
Number 4 would be Oz.
Oh man,
That's a classic.
That is a classic.
Number 3 would be The Sopranos.
Okay.
Number 2 is Snowfall.
Okay.
Mhm.
And number 1 is The Wire.
There you go.
My list a little different. I can think.
All right. I'll go.
I already knew the odds and snow. I already knew the odds, Snowfall, and The Wire was on it. I knew that for sure.
Gotcha.
All right. Top 5 crime shows. So number 5, I gave respect to the longest running. It got to be like one of the longest running damn shows. Law and Order. I had to give respect to Law and Order.
Which one?
Yeah, that was an honorable mention.
The original one. The original Law and
Okay.
Order. I give respect.
For about 100 seasons, bro.
I know.
Wire was my honorable mention.
Number 4. This is one of my favorite shows. These people were all murderers and killers and thieves and everything, but they all front like they weren't. How to Get Away with Murder. It was one of my favorite shows.
Is that one of the docudramas?
No. That's with the
Viola Davis.
yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Sure.
Number 3, I'm gonna go with Snowfall. I thought that was brutal, and it was one of my start to finish. There was almost no skips.
Yeah.
Number 2, Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is one of my favorite shows of all
Freak is in
time.
front of Breaking Bad.
Huh?
What the freak is in front of Breaking Bad?
I mean, I gotta go with The Wire, man. I gotta go with The Wire.
What you
All
mean?
right, yeah.
Oh man, we're not gonna have this debate, is we?
You think The Wire? You think Breaking Bad is better than The Wire?
Go ahead. Let's get this done because I don't want to have this debate.
No, go ahead, Morgan. Morgan, no, go ahead, because we already know who his number 1 is. He just damn said.
All right, number 5.
Hey, hold on,
Number
Morgan. David. If you don't come with something that really changes my mind, I'm gonna help Danny push you over trying to put Breaking Bad before The Wire. But go ahead.
No, I'm with The Wire. I'm with The Wire over Breaking Bad.
Oh, okay.
He was putting aside over a TV show. You gotta watch out for Wally.
Damn, there's a lot of violence tonight. All these veterans, man. Y'all supposed to be representing better, man.
Nah, you don't know.
All right, number 5. I gotta give respect to the longest running and the OG of this joint, Law and Order. I still watch all of them. The ones I watch the most are the regular Law and Order and SVU. Number 4. Criminal Intent I've watched the last 2 seasons. I haven't started this one because I love Stabler, but I only love him and
Benson. Yeah,
Benson together. Yeah. Number 4, Sons of Anarchy. I'm shocked that nobody has it on there.
I've never watched.
Sons of Anarchy had to make my list. That joint was must see TV, and it keeps you for a good amount of seasons, but that joint keeps you enraptured in that crap. You get lost in the show. So Sons of Anarchy was my number 4. Number 3, Ozark, Netflix. You talk about crack.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good
You
one.
talk about crack, bro. Once you start Ozark, ain't no putting it down, bro. That crap is fantastic. It's insane. It's
money laundering.
Huh?
The whole money laundering, the money laundering schemes that they came up with just always cracked me up.
The character development especially between him, his wife, and his son, yo, fantastic writing. Like
I haven't made it to the second season. I gotta finish.
Ozark is crack. Number 2, The Wire. And number 1, Breaking Bad.
Stop it.
I put Breaking Bad over The Wire because to me, the big moments in Breaking, like I said, in our era,
gone, your card is removed, and you from Nightdale. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You be all right. The big, like I said, the top 2 shows in my lifetime probably are Game of Thrones. For me personally, and I think for many other people, are Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad storytelling, you can't, like I said, the biggest moments in Breaking Bad can only be topped by Game of Thrones. And that's, to me, that's what I give it the edge.
Okay, so you're saying the biggest moments in Breaking Bad can only be topped by Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
The Wire had some big moments.
Than Game of Thrones, man.
The Wire had some big moments.
No, The Wire did have some big moments, but The Wire is not. The reason I would give Breaking Bad the nod over The Wire is because, one, the fandom behind Breaking Bad was bigger, the moments were bigger, and to me, the story.
I don't know about that, dude.
It is.
I don't know about
you
that.
Think hold on. Time out.
And to me, the storytelling.
You think the fandom for Breaking Bad is bigger than The Wire?
Absolutely.
There's no way.
No way.
There's no way.
No way.
I'm trying to understand when fandom became more important than the storytelling, though. And
the storytelling to me, the storytelling to me in Breaking Bad is better than it is on The Wire overall.
What?
Hey, Danny, wait, before we continue, let Danny give his list, man.
Y'all know this. The problem with my list, I'm gonna go ahead and just give my disclaimer.
Danny got what? What's the joint Chippendale?
Danny, hold on, time out. Danny, you've actually been having some really good lists this year.
Hey,
don't mess it up.
Just throw my list in the trash.
Door Explorers number 5. Chippendale's Rescue Rangers is number.
Hey, he got DuckTales number.
Tailspin. Don't forget Tailspin.
I haven't seen The Wire. I haven't seen Ozark. I have not seen Breaking Bad. I have not seen these shows. Okay.
Why? They ain't got no devil in it. No demon.
I didn't have HBO, Showtime, or none of those. I don't have those.
Breaking Bad on AMC.
I didn't either.
Where's on Netflix now?
We found a way.
It's on Netflix. Breaking Bad's on Netflix now. You ain't got no excuse, bro.
You ain't got no excuse, man.
All right,
Breaking Bad on Netflix. It's been on Netflix for a year, 2 years, bro.
Don't say your list, man.
I'm gonna give you my list. Here you go.
Okay, Rescue Rangers.
NCIS. NCIS.
First of all, it's the Magic School Bus. Stop playing.
The Magic School Bus.
Oh wow.
Oh jeez.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Hey T, that's right. Stand up for your
sis,
man.
that didn't help anything. Sis, that didn't help anything at all.
Don't help nothing.
All right. NCIS. Chicago PD, because that's the one that we
actually. CBS and NBC.
You watch it. You watch Chicago PD. I'll be watching. I'll be watching.
No,
because
I'm sorry. What's the list about?
Dang.
Top 5 crime shows.
Hey.
Crime shows.
Tiana, give them a list.
None of them.
Give them a list, Tiana.
Both Law and Orders.
I got Law and Order on here. SVU.
It's 2 of them. Criminal Minds.
Criminal Minds is my number 1.
Chicago PD is not.
These are all old folks.
Bro, you got Chicago PD at number 4. What's number 3?
Law and Order SVU. I got BBC Sherlock on here. I don't know if that qualifies, but
it qualifies.
Yeah, you good.
The show. And then Criminal Minds is my number 1 because
we didn't watch all of Dexter, but Dexter was great.
I don't think Dexter counts.
No,
Dexter counts.
It does slightly.
I was
slightly.
I was excluding
murderer.
But it's not.
They count more.
He's hunting down serial killers and
Time out. If Dexter don't count, then Breaking Bad don't count.
Dexter is solving
crime.
Breaking Bad is literally selling drugs.
Criminal though.
Yeah, he committing a crime.
I was
Dexter.
It's all crime based.
Dexter count. Number 1. What was number 1 then?
So was it? I had Criminal Minds as number 1, but I do want to ask though, because my list would have been different if we were including shows like Monk and Psych.
Yes, those are fine.
Those are all crime stuff.
Monk, I love Monk.
They would have been in there.
My family loves Monk.
I like Psych.
I love Psych.
I love
honestly, nah, it don't count. I was gonna say Suits is but it's not.
Suits
No,
is
you can't count Suits.
no,
I can't count.
If you went with Suits, then I would have to go with LA Law.
That's a law show.
No,
That's a law show.
Yeah,
No,
no,
those are law procedurals. That I don't think those are.
yeah, but technically, so is Law and Order, though.
Right. I think
they're
if it ties
solving
into
the
crime
crime,
in any way, if it ties into crime anyway, I feel like it's a crime show.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, Dexter is definitely one of my favorite shows. Like that crap is crap too. But
Hey,
I've never seen Dexter.
Hey, Moore, you partially on timeout though, bro.
I can't be on timeout because
he had Breaking Bad. Because he had Breaking Bad.
Hey, he disrespected the story.
I'm not the only person to think that way. I said overall. I said overall to me, like I said, the biggest reason I give Breaking Bad the edge over The Wire. I'm not saying The Wire didn't have huge moments. Like God knows when
that nigga said the dragon. They ain't had no dragons in it.
What dragons got to do with crime shows?
They had no dragons.
Listen, bro,
I know Game of Thrones.
We all know we know you're gonna stand 10 toes for every black show. If it was black led, and it was black.
Wow, it's a race thing, man.
Yeah, he made it.
You know what I'm saying? He was gonna be on that. You know what I'm saying? We knew that already. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on. No, Morgan, don't do that. No, I got it. Morgan, don't do that because you stand 10 toes with any black thing.
Yeah, Morgan, come on now.
You are the blackest dude on here.
And I'm always, okay with that. But that's why I'm trying to tell you. So why am I black?
Be the crappiest show on earth.
My man had.
So why is my blackness?
My man had Tijuana Jackson as the number one comedy.
Daddy, did you pick NCIS as number 5?
Tijuana Jackson's a great movie.
Yeah.
That's trash, dude.
Hold on, time out. Do you know another? Do you know any other black people that have watched
number 5? That show is straight trash.
I enjoyed NCIS a lot until they got rid of what you call him.
Mark Harmon.
It's all good, man. You know what I mean?
Honestly, all them Law and Order shows blur together. I tried to watch NCIS. I'm joining to boring as heck. I'm sorry.
Like I said, I want to make it clear though, because I don't want y'all.
At least Danny didn't put a Hawaii 5-0 on there.
He could have.
Nah,
or he could have had like chips.
Main three.
He could have had chips on there.
Chips. See,
that's where
on
his damn list.
Cheese is a police procedural show.
You put Miami Vice on that joint.
Show.
That is a crime show, though. Again, you can't have
Miami Vice is fire.
I wanted to put Miami Vice on my list.
Miami Vice.
Yeah, NCIS is a good show.
Yeah, New York Undercover. You could have
New York Undercover.
I totally forgot about that one.
New York Undercover was like the first one, like the first crime show that I remember ever watching. I was like, "Yo,
what about that one?"
Dark.
There's a lot of shows.
You know, they're trying to bring that back.
What? I saw they posted a picture of those. The three main
New York Undercover with new people. Man, that's
no. They're trying to bring back.
Hey, hold on. Does Daredevil count?
That's a superhero show.
That's a crime show.
No,
it's a superhero show, man.
That's a crime show. Hold on.
Superhero show.
No, bro. Dude, if that counts, Jessica Jones counts too.
Yeah, Jessica Jones. I have no problem with that.
Well, then why don't we put in Iron Fist too? And
come on, man.
And Luke Cage. Luke Cage.
Time out. We don't put Iron Fist in any list.
Hey, don't. Hey, Judge, all of them. Judge, don't do that to Reno 911. Reno 911 is comedy. Reno 911 is a comedy legend right there.
Come on, man. The difference. Hold on.
I wish
is grimy on the street dealing with drug dealers, rapists, all that other stuff. No.
Okay, then I guess we have to put on the Batman Robin show that I grew up with as a kid as a crime show.
Yeah, Adam West Batman.
Adam West Batman.
That's all right. That's
cool. What up, bro? What's happening?
Batman the animated series, the Justice League.
Yep. While he's just sitting there,
I'm just trying to figure out Morgan's perspective. You know, I'm listening to what y'all saying though.
I was trying to explain my perspective. You just didn't want to hear it. I gave my reasons why I did not break.
I'm not going. Hold on, Morgan. I got your back. I got your back.
First Morgan said, because I stand on blackness. Then he said I'm too niggerish to understand his deep logic.
I don't think he
I
said
didn't say
that.
you
I
were
don't
too
think he
niggerish.
I didn't hear those words.
I didn't say
That's
he
what
Then
he
he
said.
brought dragons into it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
how
then he
you
said the
got
dragons
there,
because ain't no
Rob.
dragons in Baltimore. That's crazy.
Oh, he didn't say that.
I
either.
No, you brought dragons, ain't me.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You said I was
did
from
bring
Glendale.
Game of Thrones into this. Sorry about
Yo,
that. You
you
did bring
definitely
Game of
brought
Thrones into this.
Game of Thrones
Wait,
into that
well,
equation.
then
I brought.
okay, then 24 qualifies as a crime show.
That's as
Yeah,
procedural
it does.
as the rest of them. Yeah,
X-Files.
I never liked
X-
24 though. I ain't even
X-Files
gonna lie to that. I
qualifies.
tried, dude.
I
X Files
Homeland
does not.
qualifies.
Come on, man. X Files doesn't qualify.
Homeland
What are you talking
qualifies.
about?
Bro, if I'm going by what you said, bro. If Daredevil counts, then X-Files counts.
Y'all told me no, so I
It's
let
like
it go.
Men in Black on TV.
No, it's not.
Are you talking about the cartoon Men in Black on TV?
Yeah.
I'm with them. 24 was a
It's
good
like-
show.
I
Like
never
Men in
got.
Black
I
on
tried.
TV.
I tried to get into 24.
Y'all
man.
remember that?
I
Y'all
tried.
remember this
You
show?
tried 24, you couldn't do it?
I couldn't, man. I honestly, like, it was boring me to tears, dude. I was
Why?
just
What's the
like,
name of that show with?
I don't know, man. It just
24?
didn't click with me. It just didn't click with me.
With Kiefer
Wow.
Sutherland. Hey, that show was.
I'm just telling you, I tried. Like, I watched like
That show was crack for a while.
I literally tried.
Ain't nobody
to
have
watch
power
that.
on here.
That's a good one.
Ain't nobody have
I ain't even
power. I'm
think about
shocked
it.
at that.
I forgot about.
I'm
Power.
shocked at that. I expected one person to have
We
power.
ain't put none
Or
of the power
BMF.
in us.
No one put BMF.
There's a reason.
I'm
just.
It's too early to put
messing.
BMF on there,
I'm
ain't
just
it?
joking. I'm just joking.
What that 2 seasons?
What was that
in?
show with? What was that show with Jennifer Garner where she was like
Alias.
No, that's like a spy show. Isn't it?
Yeah. You're
Well,
right.
see, okay then. So 24 would have to go on the category with Alias.
That's fair. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Yeah, that's why
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
I'm surprised nobody said. I'm surprised nobody said Cops.
There's
You
a
talking about
reason.
an OG crime
There's
show?
a reason why no one said
Why
cops.
would we say cops?
Why would you say
cops?
cops?
No, no way we're putting cops on
It's
my
an
list.
OG crime show.
What about the first 48?
I know the fandom for cops is great, right?
The first 48. What about the first 48?
It is. It's
The one with Ricky Smiley.
The first 48?
What are y'all talking about?
first 48. Got
Ricky Smiley did it. Ricky Smiley.
Is that another like reality show?
Yeah, first 48 is like they go around the cities.
Yeah,
like
first
they came
48.
to Charlotte. And like they came to Charlotte and
Come
they
on,
were
A&E.
like looking at murders. Look at
Oh,
murders.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking. Yeah, I mean, I've never really liked cops, so I wasn't really. I don't.
They said, "Boo this man."
I mean, it won't come make my list. But it is an OG show though.
Who said boo this man?
It's more in the
Power might have been the one that would have got on my list. The only thing I ain't like about Power is how it ended. I ain't even watched the last episode because somebody spoiled it for me and told me this dude's son lived, and I was like, nope.
What about
if I was going to talk about power shows, I'd probably go with Raising. If I was going to go with the power shows, it might be Raising Kanan.
I ain't watched none of them. He said then cheaters would count.
Nah.
Once
power
ended,
Oh man.
Once power ended, it was over.
Yeah, I'm with you, Morgan. As soon as when power's over, I was like, nah, I'm good.
Nah, the moms of Raising Kanan and Joey Badass character, they different.
Oh, someone said Homicide: Life on the Street. Yes, that was a good one.
Which one is
top
that?
5 though?
So it would be honorable mention.
Dang.
Because it's still in the same thing. It's by the same people who did Law and Order.
Honestly, them shows be boring me.
No,
man.
it's by the same people who did.
I'm good on all them shows.
All them shows are the same show over and over again.
Homicide: Life on the Street are by the people who did The Wire.
My list, Stan.
True Detective, bro.
Good, I've never seen True Detective. Is it good?
It is.
I heard good
it's a
things
slow
about
burn though. It's a slow burn.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah,
I heard it's hit or miss though too.
It's hit or miss for some. It's pretty good once it gets into it. But like I said, it's a slow burn. So like it's one of them that you gotta let it have a little bit of time to breathe. But once it does, like you it's pretty good.
Someone asked.
I want to be clear
Narcos.
before we go back.
I never watched Narcos. I heard it was good.
I want to be clear before we go back to L'Ton because I'm not going to allow y'all to slander me. Okay. Yes, Narcos is fire. Narcos is fire. But again, I mean, no disrespect whatsoever to The Wire. The Wire is one of the best TV shows ever.
Hey, bro, you got to get on disclaimer, bro. We get it. Dragons and myth. Breaking Bad is also one of the best TV shows ever. And it's definitely one of the best TV shows of all.
Queen of the South, that's a good one.
Hey, I heard Queen of the South was good. That's on my list of shows that I need to
South was good.
I gotta watch.
Queen of the South was good.
So someone asked the question what chips is.
Wow.
What?
They gotta be born in 2000.
So chips is the California Highway Patrol.
Hey, bro,
series,
don't you start, bro. Don't start, bro.
Which follows two motorcycle cops around the highway. They get into a couple accidents, they deal with that, and then they go chase somebody. That's what chips is.
Oh.
The cleaning lady. I heard good things about the cleaning lady too. You never heard of chips? And you 43?
I've heard of it. I didn't know what it was though.
Bruh. Come on.
Okay. Do you know who MacGyver is? I love
MacGyver. Stop that.
I don't know how you don't know what chips is.
That's what I'm saying.
Both on at the same time.
Same time.
Well, I watched MacGyver reruns. I didn't catch it.
Highlander.
So
What'd you say?
Highlander.
Oh, the TV show Highlander.
Yeah. Don't make the top 5 Highlander. You know that, Morgan.
No, listen. I'm just naming other things now. You know what I'm saying? I'm just naming other joints. The only one that was close to making my list was Snowfall. Snowfall was very close.
What was the rest of your list? What was your list? Give me a list. It was Law and Order. What was it? Number 3?
Law and Order, Sons of Anarchy, Ozark, The Wire, Breaking Bad.
Ain't no way Sons of Anarchy is better than Snowfall.
Look, no.
Javon, the brother said Dragons and Meth Labs. Yo, leave it alone, bro. Like, just
hey, Wally, that's our next book.
If y'all don't watch Sons of Anarchy, I get it, bro.
Yeah,
we can do something with that, Wally.
If y'all haven't watched Sons of Anarchy, I get it. If you have watched Sons of Anarchy, I don't believe that you just trying to. That's what I'm saying. The disrespect y'all be throwing around to these other shows is what.
Are you assuming we ain't never watched none of that though? I tried to watch that.
I tried to watch SOA. I can't watch SOA.
All right, Sons of Anarchy
is the best crime show ever. Rose said that. That's your boy.
Nadia said y'all gonna stop playing, yo. She know who MacGyver is, Highlander, and Quantum Leap.
Quantum Leap was all right too. I'm just trying to tell you,
Quantum Leap, you don't know chips.
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Chips was before its time, though. Honestly, it's before
they were on at the same time.
Quantum Leap.
No, that's not true.
Well, MacGyver and
Chips was earlier. Chips was early.
Well, Chips, MacGyver.
Chips was like Quantum Leap is like late 80s.
Quantum Leap is later, but Chips and MacGyver are on at the same time.
Hey, somebody could have put Miami Vice on there, and I would have had to give you props, bro. Like you really could. Well,
Miami Vice was one of my honorable mentions.
Bro. It say Chips came out.
Chips was on Sundays
15, 1977, bro.
That's what I was saying. Chips came out early.
On Sundays, and MacGyver was on Mondays.
Danny wasn't even living yet. He literally didn't exist on Earth.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying.
My mom and dad didn't even know each other yet. Mom and dad didn't even know each other at the time.
I got that in my Netflix.
He might have been swimming somewhere, but he missed. You know what I mean? Like,
hey, they said Daddy wasn't even thought of yet.
Literally,
I was born in 81 too.
Literally.
Nadia, I was born in 81 too.
Morgan had Walker, Texas Ranger.
Yeah, I think.
Hey, don't sleep on Walker, Texas Ranger, bro.
Stop that.
No, sleep on Walker, Texas Ranger. Y'all need to stop lying. Y'all need to stop lying.
Walker, Texas Ranger, where we're at that.
Walker, Texas Ranger was a good show.
Yeah,
it was. Really, y'all? Really?
Mess with white dudes with cowboy boots, but that show was garbage.
Wait a minute.
Come on, y'all need to stop, man.
Now.
I was thinking about Matlock. I like Matlock.
Matlock was good. I gave
like
Matlock.
I bet you like Murder, She Wrote too.
Just for the record,
Murder, She Wrote.
MacGyver came out 2 years after Chips ended, is what I'm reading right here. So probably missed it because it was on repeat.
No, well, so I'll say this though. I'm gonna say this. You talking about
it?
You? Who, me?
Yeah,
I'm the same age as Nadia.
You got an old soul, bro. You be talking about stuff from the 60s and the 70s. Like
I'm the oldest one here.
Well, they was on reruns. They was in repeat.
I was gonna say, like, this syndication was. See, y'all don't understand. Syndication was big back then. So all these shows were running ad nauseum. So if you had grandparents, and you stay with your grandparents at some point, you're gonna be watching all these shows.
100%. 100%.
That's got a point.
And Nadia said she was born when Chips was ending. So she got.
We were born the same age. We were born the same year.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm just giving her the reason why it probably didn't matter to her. First of all, she probably didn't want to see two niggas in tight pants on bikes riding down the street. Like, as soon as Chips come on, you just be like, all right, that's what y'all doing.
Hey, listen, when you guys stay with your grandparents, when you guys stay with your grandparents for the day, that's the same. You ain't in charge of the clicker.
In the heat of the night,
I used to watch Prices Right. I used to have to watch Prices Right. The stories. When they come out ABCA,
Jeopardy.
CBS. I was Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune. Yep. I used to have to watch all that, bro. It was not optional to change.
Hollywood Squares.
It was in Heat of the Night and Walker, Texas Ranger at my granny's house.
Yo, Ro brought up Hunter. I remember Hunter.
Oh, I forgot about Hunter.
I remember Hunter.
I remember the name. I don't remember.
Hey, hold on time. Y'all remember Airwolf?
That was my show.
No.
I remember the helicopter.
Yeah.
I even know the theme song. I even know the theme song to the show.
Hey, y'all know what I remember?
Put Knight Rider?
Y'all know what I remember?
No.
I remember L'Ton's on Kickstarter.
There you go.
Yeah, drop that link. Drop that link in the comment.
Time about. Nadia knows Hunter, but she don't know Chips. That don't compute. No,
I'm telling you.
Why is Ro bringing up Renegade? That show was trash, dude.
Yeah, that show was terrible.
I'm telling you why she don't remember Chips. When you see them niggas with the tight pants on the bike,
everybody was wearing tight pants in the 70s and 80s, sir. Everybody.
MacGyver wasn't.
If you can be a fan of Prince, you can be a fan.
What do you mean MacGyver wasn't? Did you not see that dude was rocking around and painted on jeans, dude? Stop it. All them dudes was rocking tight pants.
I don't know.
Oh my God! He brought up Blue Thunder.
Wow, Blue Thunder. Sheesh.
Ooh, that was just a knockoff of Airwolf.
What's Blue Thunder, bro?
Hey, A-Team?
Yep.
Oh, the A-Team, yeah.
That could have
Stingray.
Them jokers are superheroes. I went back and watched some episodes.
It came after A-Team. It was a guy who drove around in a '67 Stingray Corvette. He was mysterious, and he would come help people.
This is like a million of those shows. The Equalizer.
Yeah. Yep, The Equalizer.
You don't Equalizer.
But if he came and helped you,
in North Philly,
he would help you in return for a favor, and you would come back and ask for that favor later.
Hey, Nadia, you lying, man. Everybody was wearing tight pants. Hey, you remember Charlie Wilson's story? Not Charlie Murphy's story? Everybody was wearing tight pants in the 80s, dude. Androgynous as hell.
But like Wally says, L'Ton is on Kickstarter. We need your support. Come on.
Who is Latino?
I know I got to get out of here, but yes, L'Ton is on Kickstarter. We still got how many days we got left? We got 24 days left. 24 days. We're at 38 backers right now. We're at $2,351. Trying to get to that first goal of $3,500.
And we're a project, and it's a project we love.
Got the project we got that tag today. Tag today from Kickstarter, so you already knew it was legit because of the awesome creators who were behind it. But now even Kickstarter has recognized it. So, y'all know I got to get out of here, but I appreciate y'all. Next up, where y'all gonna be at next, Wally? I know you got an interview tomorrow night. Since I did my assistant duties this week, I know you got.
I don't understand why you trying to play the situation like that. Danny Jangilius quit, but yeah, we just did an interview with the Blur Without Fear. We on top 5. Thankfully,
remember that
we was not gonna be allowed to be here, but we here. You know what I'm saying? Thanks to Morgan.
Here you go again. Here you go again with this BS.
Roland Live coming up.
We on Roland Live tomorrow at 9. We got another joint at 7 tomorrow. I can't remember.
think it was 8.
Man, we got what?
We got one at 7 and 9 tomorrow.
Yeah, 7 and 9. We got interviews all week, bro. We everywhere we can be. Plus, trying to put this out there.
I want to see another backer come in before we get up off of here, because I'm about to go watch this game with all the joy and glee possible in my soul.
Y'all don't think Timberwolves can come back?
No.
They're gonna go back home.
He said Danny couldn't even make it
go back home. That's what.
Yeah, they can go home from Dallas tonight.
Danny, why they trying to play you on your curfew on your list, bro?
Oh, they know what I do. Hey, I be consistent on mine. It's time to go. It's 9:30.
Hey, for everybody that has to watch The Wire and Breaking Bad, fits it. Okay. Matter of fact, if you haven't watched Sons of Anarchy, fits it. I put it in here, Nadia. I'll drop it again. Hold on. I put it.
Matter
in
of
here.
fact, if you ain't got no dragons or no meth in your shows, fix it.
Fix that. I got a dragon book coming out, but never mind.
I mean, there's no dragons in none of the shows I named, but I assume that you said
Javon,
that.
Javon,
I assume that you said
could you
that
please remind
Morgan that
he
a white
bought?
led show.
Whoa.
He said that the moments, the only.
Yeah, but he went to the dragons talking about niggas on the street hustling.
Because I was making the point. I was making the point that the two TV shows that have the biggest moments in them, and you could probably poll this. You could probably put it in a poll, but like the biggest moments in TV, like in TV history, especially for people that were like binge watching a show, are from Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, Walking Dead.
Those are the biggest moments in history, you say?
TV history, dude.
In our lifetime, yeah, those three.
Dude, you ain't even listen, man.
Tell me a show that had a big. Okay.
Hey, listen. I know y'all don't
moments in Game of Thrones. The biggest moments in Game of Thrones are Breaking Bad. What show had bigger moments than those?
Can I keep it a buck with you? I know you probably you don't even like this show, and that's cool. But this show had America in a chokehold for a minute, regardless of how it ended. Lost had America in a chokehold, dude.
It did.
All that stuff in a chokehold.
Well,
it did.
Actually,
24 did too.
Alias, Lost, and 24.
24 did too.
And Alias.
Walking Dead, but that's what I'm saying. There's levels to it. Like the amount of people that watched Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, and Breaking Bad weekly, and like live tweeted during the show, talked about it in the internet.
I think
every blog with those.
I think you need to go back and look at numbers.
Scandal's up there too. Scandal is up there.
You talking again? Lost was on. It was on basic TV, so it was on CBS. I mean ABC. So everybody was watching it. So their numbers at Lost peak.
It still can't mess with Walking. It can't mess with those other three.
Well, you got to account for the difference in the time frame too. Like some of these other shows you're talking about.
I agree. I'm saying he's talking about like.
I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah,
I'm saying Morgan's not counting for even like with The Wire. Not to jump on The Wire, but it was at a time when you had to have access.
Yeah,
and it was still.
I agree.
Doing what it's doing. So when you compare that to like Game of Thrones, where social media is a real thing at that point in time, it changes that part of the conversation. Had those shows had that at the time, it would have been even more to them. You know what I mean?
Can I say this though? It took a minute.
When Wallace got killed, that was definitely one of the biggest. Like, don't get it twisted. Again, I'm saying this.
Who got killed?
Michael B. Jordan.
Okay, well, so here's the thing about this.
The character's name was Wallace.
The Wire was great, but it was also on like cable TV. Everybody didn't have cable TV, so it took a while for The Wire to get going. Same thing with Game of Thrones. Like Game of Thrones didn't have America in the chokehold in the first couple of seasons. It took
people do know Omar is coming though, Jess. Definitely. People know Omar is coming, but definitely there are way more people that know Winter is coming. You're right. But I think that the other thing that you run into with those shows, again, hate to go back to the black-white thing, but that is literally where the line is. Like there are white people that watch The Wire, but not nearly at the numbers that watch Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad.
But that has nothing to do with
it. Yeah, but even the Game of time out. Even Game of Thrones, Game of Thrones did numbers later. Like it took some time. It took time for them to build their audience. It wasn't it.
The audience got much bigger, but it was always big though.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
So
my point is, I'm using shows that like again. Ro made a good point about Scandal. Scandal had everybody sitting in front of the TV.
It did.
ABC.
People were live.
But don't forget, Game of Thrones had an advantage over those shows. They had it. It had an advantage of those shows because it was already bringing in the fan base from the books.
Yeah.
To the TV show.
Yeah.
So it had a head start on all those other shows.
And The Wire was out years before that, and still is tracking and making noise and being discovered over and over again. So when we start talking about longevity,
there's no question. Just like Oz. Oz changed HBO.
Oz changed HBO, but it wasn't
before The Wire.
But
you know what I'm
saying? Oz has been forgotten though.
Nah.
Oz has been, when you think about
okay. If you go back to look at Oz it launched so many careers.
It did. Yes. But what I'm saying is when people start talking about like the best shows, they don't give it as due because like it again, it
well, let me just say this right quick though, Jamal, because this whole black-white thing, like I could care less what the whites or the blacks or the who. I'm talking about just the greatness of the storytelling and the writing. Not to you. I'm saying that to one of the comments, and to Morgan's point, I'm just talking about the greatness of the writing and the storytelling to the point where scholars have broke down The Wire to talk about the in-depth levels of the character development that you get out of certain characters and the intertwining in the society and even the city. And I just think that's major. And some of those things hit differently when you see a show that was made back then that's still impacting the way that people write and talk about literature now.
Because The Wire took time. You have those same to develop those characters.
You have those same accolades for those other shows. There's people that teach the same thing based off of Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones scripts.
Yeah, but I'm just going off what you were saying about how the highs of the show,
all right,
their highs are bigger than the highs of Game of Thrones and are higher than any other show that's ever come out. And I know you hate me sometimes when I go back in time, but
no, I get your point. I get you.
There are other shows, there are other shows that whose highs were higher because they had more access. More people were able to access those shows because they weren't cable shows. Because Game of Thrones is out at a time now where like it's almost like definite, like everybody got cable, but like Oz, and this is why I say Oz was kind of forgotten, is because Oz came out at the time where HBO was getting into
it changed.
Getting into like original programming.
But that's why I said Oz literally changed HBO.
I agree.
Not just on the numbers front, but on the type of content that only HBO would bring you. That's what HBO, like, they gained a huge name based off of Oz and like the realness of what was taking place in Oz, and that gritty storytelling that, hey, this is brutal, but this is like what it really is, whatever, and having people that actually live that life speak to how well done it was and how close to their experience it was, started with Oz. The Wire took what Oz did and improved upon that. You know what I'm saying? Like The Wire is like it's an homage to Oz, but again, it's steps above it. It's different types of Snowfall. To me, is in the same vein. You know what I'm saying? And Snowfall was again one of the definitely binge-worthy TV show that everybody watched, had great fandom, had a great. Snowfall is one of the shows that actually stuck the landing. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of shows don't stick the landing. You know what I'm saying? Game of Thrones is accused of not sticking the landing, and in many ways it didn't. You rushed 3 episodes to end 7.
But seasons. You know why that was, right? You know why that was? It's because they had burned through the books so quickly. that they had to wait for Martin to write more so they could continue the show.
Yeah, but we know, there was all that talk about how they were going to end that last season and them doing the battle scene and stuff like that. People are still pissed about watching the battle and all of the different and summing up that entire show in the amount of episodes. I think they did it in 3 episodes. Was ridiculous in itself. They did not pay the proper homage to that show and the storytelling that they had built up to properly. Breaking Bad stuck the landing. Like that, the final episode of Breaking Bad is a historic success. Like it was fantastic. Writing was awesome. The way that everybody ends up is awesome. That's how you can. Better Call Saul is one of the shows that would probably be on somebody's list, and that show's fantastic. But it only got to where it is because of how well done Breaking Bad was. You know what I'm saying? But Better Call Saul spun off of that show and has been doing fantastic since. Like I said, to me, and that's why I'm saying I want to make sure that I give the proper credit to Oz and The Wire for what they did, especially because they made space for Game of Thrones and those other shows that wanted to be more gritty. Orange is the New Black, Weeds. You know what I'm saying? There's mad shows that have come off the back of those shows and how well done they were, how well written they were, how well acted they were. You know what I'm saying? Like all of those shows came off the back of the work that was done in those. So again, I'm not taking anything away from The Wire, Oz, any of the shows that I did not have on my list or the shows I did have on my list. Like I said, if I'm looking at The Wire and Breaking Bad, every day I could go 1-2 for one reason or the other one. The reason I went with Breaking Bad over The Wire tonight is because, again, for me, the biggest moments in Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad, it was those moments can't really be compared to, really. You know what I'm saying? Like there are other
keep saying it.
There are other big episodes that have awesome stuff that happens in them, but it's okay. It's like
I think when you say biggest moments, are you talking like from you personally or in general?
I think both. For me personally and in like the amount of, again, one of the things that we benefit from, again, Wallace dying on The Wire would have been much bigger. I agree with Wally 100%. If it had came out during if it had came out like right now, like when we watch X-Men 97 episode 5, how everybody was talking about that, right? If that had happened with the internet being what it is today, then it definitely would have been at the same. It definitely would have been at the same level because people still talk about that episode right now, and it came out before that.
So we have to take that metric out of the equation.
Yeah, that's my point.
I'm not taking it out. I'm not taking it out.
No, we're saying that so that metric can't be used to define which is this or that because it's not a fair metric.
Because there are definitely other shows that have had bigger moments that have been more water cooler discussions. Because
JR got shot on Dallas, that was a big moment.
Yeah, agreed.
Match's last episode, there, you know what I mean. There are so many big moments that happened in TV that were way bigger water cooler moments.
Well, I'm telling you right now, one of the big moments and water cooler moments you will experience is going to be in L'Ton, Broken City.
That was good.
That was good.
You know, I'm telling you, if you want to have those moments and you want to experience them, you need to pick up this issue and you need to stay with us for the next 6 issue, because what Wally and I got planned for the next 6 issue is going to make a lot of things look really, really big. I mean, you know, Wally and I have talked about it. We got some big things coming.
That part.
Yeah, and with that, I know Nadia asked for the link earlier. I put it back in the comments again. Y'all make sure that y'all go support this Kickstarter. I know that a lot of people that watch, you know what I'm saying, are in the indie community or already support us in the indie community. This is actually the first creative work that Bequest is going to be publishing as far as like new content. So y'all know we did the hardcover before, you know what I'm saying, but this is a new story that's going to be put out through Bequest. And new topic, top 5 biggest moments in TV history. Yeah, we can do that this week. But yeah, like I really
have like 4 Game of Thrones episodes, 4 Game of Thrones moments. Hey,
I could
please don't.
easily
Please
could. I won't,
don't.
but I could.
Yo, I want to say I appreciate y'all for having us on, helping us spread the word.
Thank you.
A good convo, even if some of it was warped by my brother Morgan's way of viewing things. Javon, thank you for helping to bring Morgan back to reality, even though he's gonna skip back, to where he at with it.
No, I'm not. My opinion's not gonna change. I have the right to have a different opinion. Why do I not have the right to have a different opinion?
Oh no, you do. Hey, yo, I'm gonna be in night there this weekend too. So if you and Danny don't find time
I don't got nothing to do with no night there. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm just saying I'm gonna be there for a show at SableCon. So
okay.
I know you're familiar with that area, so I'm just saying you and Danny
should not familiar with that area.
Grab something to eat or something.
I'm from the Bull, bro. I don't know nothing.
That's right up the street.
No, I'm not saying I won't pull up, but I'm just saying, like earlier, you said I was from Nightdale.
Oh,
and you meant it as a slight. That's what you meant. You know what I'm saying? But
I'm going to Nightdale.
No.
All right. Hey, Devon, I need to catch up with you because I need to talk to you.
Hey, man.
About a project I'm involved in that you're no longer involved in.
Hey, you make sure you take it easy with that because
y'all talk about that behind closed doors, maybe.
No, I just need to get some advice because I'm working on the script and I'm kind of stumbling on a few things. I want to bounce a couple ideas off of you.
DM me, man.
Yeah, that's all.
If it's the project that I think you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm struggling on getting this script done, and I just need to get some fresh eyes on it.
Y'all make sure.
Yeah, y'all talk later. We still live.
Make sure. Make sure that y'all go support the Kickstarter. I put the link.
No, I'm not trying to cause any trouble. I just need some fresh eyes on this.
DM me, man.
Hey, bro, you good, man? I'm just making sure I plug before we get off.
Yeah, make sure you come support L'Ton, man, because you in for something that's amazing.
Make sure y'all go support the Kickstarter. My brother don't put his hands on nothing that's not dope. Pause. Y'all know what I mean. I said pause first.
No, I had to say mine.
All right, but y'all understand what I mean. Again, honored to have brother David on here. You know what I'm saying, for the first time. Hope to have you back, bro.
Anytime. I'd like to come back for the top 5 biggest moments in TV history.
Okay, we'll bet. That's a bet then. We might do that next week. We might do that next week.
What'd you say, Wally?
I just said I watched that one from the sideline because it's gonna be interesting.
Hey.
If he starts doing Game of Thrones, I'm dropping.
Oh, Game of Thrones is gonna be one of them.
I can probably call out every single one he gonna pick up.
No,
you
don't know.
Hey, you watch Game of Thrones. It's probably what the one's gonna be is like Jon Snow crawling out from under all those bodies.
No, that's not the top one in Game of Thrones.
Who don't watch Game of Thrones?
Oh well, what's my number one then?
Who, me?
He didn't say, "Oh, no, another number one." We just know some of the ones you might.
Just know some of the ones. Don't worry about it.
What's my number one from Game of Thrones? Right. You said you could tell me.
No, why would I give away the show for next week?
True.
Give away the show.
Good response, Javon. Good response.
You don't give away the milk.
Well, then you might as well not come.
Good response.
Said well.
My brothers, peace and love to y'all.
Peace.
I'm about to go watch this game. Appreciate y'all as always. Make sure y'all go support the Kickstarter, please. Make sure y'all go support the Kickstarter. We appreciate y'all as always. All of y'all that have always backed us. We appreciate y'all so much, man. Hey, see, Nadia, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm gonna hold it. You know what I'm saying? That's one of them. But yeah, y'all please make sure that y'all go support the Kickstarter. Make sure you share it. Y'all know one of the hardest things for us to do is to get the word out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is the hardest part. You know what I'm saying? Helping other people see it, helping other people see the dope project. The biggest thing that we didn't talk about is that they actually have a soundtrack for this comic, man. Like yo, and I've listened to it and I'm not capping. That joint is it's great. It's from people that are actually from Lumberton, you know what I'm saying? That are from that area. I love it. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's one of the most dope and unique things that you can have being a part of a Kickstarter, bro. So I really hope that y'all go and support it. I want to see those numbers go up before the night is over with. So that we can say on this show, you know what I'm saying, that we support each other, we support indie projects, we support what we all do amongst each other, but also what those who we bring on the show do. So we appreciate y'all as always. We'll see y'all next Tuesday. Peace out. Go Mavs.